So you've probably found this video because you've got a lot of great learning content and you want a really easy way of getting that learning content into other learning management systems, LMSs. So one of the ways we can do that, it's super easy, that doesn't actually require any code at all, is by using Moodle as an LTI tool, using a special plugin that LTI as a service has built to do this for you. So what you see on my screen here is a Moodle LMS that I have set up. And this is an intro to algebra course that I've set up in this LMS. You could have, let's say, H5P content, videos, quizzes, lessons, any type of learning content that Moodle supports, which is quite vast. You can put it up in Moodle, and I'm going to show you how to take that learning content and allow teachers to automatically embed that content into other LMSs. So in this intro to algebra course, we've got a couple of resources. The first one near the top here is a collaborative graphing calculator app. This is actually an LTI application that's installed into Moodle itself. So we'll see a little bit of LTI inception today. And then I've got a couple other lessons, just basically some text that users could read. Imagine maybe this is a video that they might want to watch, anything. And then here's a quiz. And within this quiz, students can take the quiz, they can get scores for them. And one of the things that the LTI as a Service Moodle plugin does is after students have submitted their answers to things like quizzes or any other type of graded assignment, we automatically transfer those grades from Moodle into the parent LMS so that the teacher can then see the grades. So there's a fully functioning, LTI tool learning system where you don't have to write any code to get your learning content out to students that need it. So let's go ahead and get started. To use LTI as a service to connect your LTI Moodle tool to LMSs, we need to install a plugin. So we get that plugin by going to github.com/LTIaaS/Moodle-provider-plugin. This is an open source project, open source plugin. And all you have to do is find the latest release here. So I'm going to click on releases, and there's a zip file, ltiaas.zip. All you have to do is download this zip file to your computer, and then we're going to install it into Moodle. So I'm going to go to my Moodle server here. I have to be logged in as an administrator, and I'm going to go to Site Administration, Plugins, Install Plugin. And then my plugin file is going to be the zip file that I just downloaded there. So I'm going to upload this ltiaas.zip. It's important that you don't change the name of this or any of the contents. It's got to be exactly how you downloaded it from GitHub. And now I'm going to click install plugin. It checks some things to make sure that it can be installed, and we'll click continue. It also checks to make sure that your server can support it and there's no issues there. Got a green light with the minimum requirements. And then finally, we're actually going to go and do a database upgrade. Sometimes you'll see other database upgrades that Moodle wants to do, depending on what else your Moodle server, has installed. In our case, this is the only upgrade that needs to happen. So I'll upgrade the Moodle database that adds all the database stuff that's necessary to do the LTI plugin. All right, so the upgrading is complete. Now we're presented with some settings that we need to fill in. Most importantly, we need an LTI-AAS server URL and an LTI-AAS API key. So where did we get those? We can get them from LTIaaS.com. So you can navigate to LTIaaS.com. And in the top right corner, there's a button for Customer Portal. When you click that button, you'll be able to create an account with LTI as a service, and you can actually create a free account. You don't have to actually put in a credit card or anything, and you can create a free server. So I went ahead and already did that. I've created the account. If you want to learn more about how to do that, we've got a video and some instructions on our website. The account that I've created is just called Moodle Provider Plugin. And I've already filled in some of the settings here. Let me talk to you about what those are. So this is, of course, where it's hosted. I want this to be hosted in the United States. I gave this account a URL. This is the URL that LTI as a service uses to communicate with other LMSs when you install your tool. This can be whatever you want, maybe your company name. You can also do custom domains if you want here. So this is the domain that I've chosen, Moodle plugin cms.ltias.com. I've got a tool name and description. Those show up when you install the tool into the LMS. And then the launch URL and deep linking URL here are URLs that you're not gonna you're gonna set them and you're never gonna change them. And these URLs, you already know what their value is as long as you know what your Moodle server URL is. So in my case, the Moodle server that we were looking at earlier is moodle.ltias.com. And then this stuff here on the end, enroll LTIAS tool.php. You're going to use whatever your Moodle server URL is, but then you're going to stick that exactly as it is right on the end of it. So this file or this web URL is installed by that LTIAS plugin. Same with the deep linking URL, use your server name, and then this enroll LTIAS content-selection/index.html. If you have a logo, you can put that in there. That gets automatically installed when you do dynamic registration. If you can learn more about dynamic registration. This is an option that you can choose with all LTI as a service accounts. So once I've set all that stuff up, again, those URLs are just standard URLs. You're just going to set and forget. I click submit here. When you click submit, it gives you a little red box that says, okay, thank you. Now please deploy this to the cloud. I've already done that, so you won't see that here. But in any case, now what I need to do is take this URL that I've chosen, and this is the URL that I'm going to put in the settings for this Moodle plugin. I think I probably already have it there. Yep, there it is. So this is my URL. Make sure you have HTTPS at the front of it. And then the API key I'm going to get, oops, where am I going? From this generate new API key button. If you forget your API key, we don't know what it is either. So you got to generate a new one if you forget it. So we copy that API key. And again, we can go back to Moodle here, and I'm going to paste that API key into here. There's a bunch of other settings, some time zone settings and different things like that. Feel free to set them to your liking. And then I'm going to click Save Changes. All right, now that I've installed the plugin, I have to go and actually enable the plugin. So I'm going to go to plugins again, and I'm going to scroll down to enrollments. Enrollments, manage enroll plugins. And then I need to enable publish as LTI Advantage tool with LTI AAS. I'm going to click on the eyeball here, and it's going to enable that for us. If you want to change your API key or URL, etc., you can just click settings here at any time to change those. But other than that, we're done. The plugin is now installed, and we're ready to start making LTI connections. There's a couple other things that I want to show you real quick about some common settings that need to be set inside of Moodle for it to work properly. So let me show you that real quick. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to General. And we're going to scroll all the way down to security and then HTTP security. The user experience of LTI tools works best when they're embedded inside of iframes. And so by default, Moodle blocks Moodle itself being embedded inside of another website, but that's exactly what we want to do here. So we're going to enable that. And then we're going to click Save Changes. And then one last thing we need to do here is we're going to go back to plugins as well. And we're going to go to authentication and manage authentication. And we need to make sure that the LTI authentication method is enabled. So I'm going to also click on that blue eyeball icon there. So now LTI is enabled. You'll see an error message if either of these doesn't work. So, if you miss them, you'll figure it out pretty soon, but always good to get those two guys up front. All right, so let's go ahead and install this Moodle server as an LTI tool provider into an LMS. So I've got my LMS here. So this is a Canvas LMS. I've created a course called Math 104. Imagine that I'm a teacher now, and as a teacher, I really want access to that amazing learning content that we saw before in Moodle. So I want to make that available in this course that I'm creating in Canvas. So the first thing we need to do is we need to log in as an administrator, and we're going to go to the Canvas settings, and we're going to go to developer keys. And then I'm going to click add developer key, and I want to choose LTI key. The steps that I'm going through here are actually also available on the LTI-AAS website, so you can check that out too. So I'm going to paste the JSON. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to enter a URL. Because I have dynamic registration enabled for this, I can do this automatically without having to fill this stuff in manually. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to go ahead and click edit here. And I'm going to go to manual entry. I'm going to copy the title that was copied over from LTI as a service. And I'm going to give the key name that title as well. So we can see here, these URLs match the LTI as a service URL, with some other suffixes that manage all the LTI connections. One thing you might want to change as you go in to edit these settings is the placements. Canvas administrators typically know what placements they want. Assignment selection is the placement that's used to add these LTI tools as assignments within a course. We can also go in and change what LTI services might be available. Again, Canvas administrators typically know what they want to set here. The defaults are perfectly fine for what we're doing. All right, now I'm going to set the state to on. Yes, I'm sure I want to enable this. And I'm going to copy this magic number here. This magic number is going to be used on the next step. So what we've done is we've installed the LTI as a service tool into Canvas. Now we need to make the LTI as a service tool aware of Canvas, right? So we've only done one half of the process. Now let's do the other half. So I'm going to go to my LTI as a service account, and I'm going to go to registrations. So typically what you do is you click add registration here. I've actually already went ahead and done a registration, so I'm just going to edit it. Again, a lot of details on how this process works on our website. So that magic number that I copied is the client ID that I'm going to paste into here. And this is what makes LTI as a service aware of its particular instance inside of Canvas, right? You imagine you could have multiple tools, all with different client IDs. You want to make sure you match them up and get the right, you want to communicate with the correct tool. And so this is one of the ways we do that. All right, so these URLs, again, these are just kind of Canvas default URLs that all Canvas instances use. And I'm going to click submit. Okay, so I've got my new client ID installed there. And then we also need to make sure this is activated by default. That's true. You could, if you don't want an LMS to have access to your tool at some time, you can just click this button and it completely disconnects them and they can't access your tool anymore. All right, so we've got everything connected now. We've got the plugin installed in Moodle. We've got Canvas connected with LTI as a service so that we can talk with Moodle. Let's now make some of these assignments available via LTI. So I'm going to go back to my courses here. And I'm going to go to the course that I want to publish LTI content from, which is the Intro to Algebra course. Once I'm here, I have to be a teacher or an administrator to do this. I'm going to click on More, and then we got Published as LTI Advantage Tools with LTI AAS. So there's no tools published yet, so I'm going to click Add to add my first tool. So you can give custom names here if you want, or it'll just pull in the name that already exists. So the tool to be published, this contains a list of all of the tools or all of the modules and things that are installed added into the course within Moodle. So I could add the course itself. If I want somebody to click on a link inside that Canvas LMS and take them to the entire course and work through the course kind of with access to all the content, that's totally fine. We can have the course itself be the LTI launch point. So there's a bunch of other settings here. You can kind of set how many students you want to be allowed. Is this something that's graded, and do you want to automatically send grades back to the LMS? Things like that. So I'm going to add this method for the course. You can see that it populated the name and the description automatically from what the course already had. Now I'm going to, instead of doing the course, I'm going to publish some of the other things. So I'll publish the collaborative graphing calculator, for example. And then I'll also publish, I think let's go ahead and publish the quiz. Where's that? Yeah, the algebra quiz. All right, this is a graded quiz that students can take. Another thing to note here is within the parent LMS, Canvas in this case, there's different roles, teacher, student, etc. When a teacher does an LTI launch into Moodle, we create an account for them. And we ask you, what role do you want teachers to have within Moodle? Do you want to give them the teacher role, or should teachers just be, for example, non-editing teachers, etc.? And then same is true for students. So be aware of that you can, manage the kind of the permissions of each of these automatically. All right, so we've got 3 items available via LTI that Canvas can now accept. So let's go ahead and go to Canvas and see if we can find these. So I'm going to go back to, sorry, there's one other step we need to do inside of Canvas. It's kind of a funky thing here. I'm going to copy this number again. So I did the developer key install, but now I actually have to add the app that is linked with that key, kind of a confusing little Canvas thing. Again, this is all on pretty clearly documented on our website. So I'm going to click on apps here if it's going to let me. There it goes. And I'm going to add an app, and I'm going to go by client ID and paste that magic number. And then it's going to say, are you sure you want to install this? Yep, that's the one I want. All right, so now this tool called My Moodle CMS is now available for teachers in Canvas to add them to courses. So I'm going to go back here, courses. I'm going to go to my Math 104 course, and I'm going to go to assignments. So remember when we installed the tool inside of Canvas, there was that assignment selection placement. This is the place where we can add it inside of the select when we're selecting an assignment. So I'm going to click add assignment. Let the form populate here. And I'm going to change the submission type to be external tool. And I'm going to click find, and it's going to list all of the external tools, mostly LTI tools that are available in the LMS. In this case, it's just My Moodle CMS. So when I click on this, it's going to do an OAuth with Moodle, and it's going to list all of the available content that Moodle is providing to the LMS. So there we go. So here's the 3 things that we said we wanted to publish via LTI. We've got the entire course itself, and then the 2, Moodle calls them modules, the things inside of the course. So the first thing I'm going to select is the course itself. And when I do that, LTI as a service generates a unique URL for that particular instance, in this case, the course itself. And it populates that URL down here, giving it, in this case, a unique ID of 1. So I'm going to click select. Notice that it already populated the assignment name. Teachers can go in here and modify the description. How many points is it worth if it's even sending grades? And then I'll click save and publish. So when I click save and publish here, it's actually going to launch it as if I'm, viewing it like a teacher or a student here. In this case, I'm logged in as a teacher, so I get to see what a teacher would normally see when they're launching the tool. But here we go. We've got our Moodle course directly embedded inside of Canvas. Pretty neat. So now I can click on things just like I would if I was inside of Moodle and do, interact with this content, but as if I'm, it looks as if I'm just in Canvas. Pretty neat. Let's go ahead and add one more assignment. So let me just show you really quick. Okay, so I'm going to click on one of these things. So right now I can see that that particular content. Okay, now I'm going to go back to assignments. I'm going to go ahead and add another assignment that's not the full course itself. So again, external tool, find my Moodle CMS. And I'm going to choose the collaborative graphing calculator in this particular case. And we can see again, we've got a new URL and look, a different ID, right? That points directly to that exact content. If you've got content that like takes up a lot of screen real estate for whatever reason, you can request the teacher to click this button and it'll actually have the student open it up in a new browser tab so they've got more space to see it. There's some other display options that you can tweak. Feel free to reach out to us if you have questions about that. Okay, I'm going to click save and publish. And what we're going to see now is LTI is going to do an OAuth with Canvas. Canvas is going to launch Moodle, and then Moodle is now going to do an OAuth again with another external LTI tool, in this case, the Collaborative Graphing Calculator LTI tool. And so what we're going to see here is we actually have LTI inception. So we've got Canvas. Inside of Canvas is Moodle. Inside of Moodle is the Collaborative Graphing Calculator app. Pretty neat, right? So we've now learned everything you need to know about turning Moodle into a learning content management system. We didn't have to write any code. All you have to do is create an LTI as a service account, install a plugin, and you're ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. There's contact information on our website. You can reach out to us on GitHub. I really hope you enjoyed. Thanks.